I feel like he looked actually like revived almost, even though it's the new division. It's not really a true 154 opponent.
Kieth Thurman told that boy, "You can never pass this test." That boy with bone spurs.
The medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast, and you're stepping into the motherfucking Fight Club. We're talking boxing today. Danny Garcia versus Jose Benavidez JR recap. And before we get into it, go down and like this video and do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. Every subscription makes it count. You don't understand how much it helps us. But let's get into it. I'm Paul Pickawinham Contra, and I'm with...
What's going on, boys? It's PT. You already know, man. Let's get into it.
Shit, if you don't know, PT stands for prime time, and that's when this fight took place, was in the prime time. And but before we talk that main event, let's talk. I was telling it beforehand, but Gary Antuanne Russell's the fucking future of 140, and I stand on that, bro. Everyone watch out. Jack Cotterell, watch out. Jose Zapita, watch out. Josh Taylor, watch out. Everyone, if you weigh 140 and you boxing, watch out. Jose Ramirez.
Call them all out, man. The boys
I'll do it because Gary ain't do it. But what did you like? Did you think the fight was stopped early? Because homeboy, other side was complaining. Oh, it was a whole bunch of people would complain that the fight was stopped early.
I mean, even if they didn't want to stop it early, it was gonna end up just being the ref jumping in it because he would have jumped right on him. Like his fight style, bro, he's just gonna come right at him and he's just gonna bring it to him. So
yeah, and then he hit him. I think it was I can't remember if it was a left or right, but it was a hook. As he was,
I think it was.
Old boy was trying to back out of there, and he got caught on the exit. And
I think he is southpaw, right? So I'm pretty sure it was like his lead right hand, and he hooked his ass, which is fucking crazy, bro. Because like I don't know, that's just crazy to me. Like he got some power in them hands.
Both hands, yeah. And then homeboy dropped, and then he counted, and the ref stopped it. Like, even if the ref didn't stop it, because I would say, okay, if this wasn't my guy, maybe it was early stoppage. But, bro, you're going to get knocked out the next round or right after this because, like, you got dropped the round before. You were getting your ass beat throughout the whole fight. I can't even give you a round. But, yet you want to talk as if the fight would have went on longer. It would have been a different result. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
You wasn't in the fight, man. Yeah. That was a good performance by a dude, bro.
Continuing the KO streak.
Doing it for Pops, bro. I feel like him and his fucking Gary's gonna be a good little duo.
No, fact. And I want to see, because like I know Josh Taylor's mixed up with the Jack Cotterell rematch, but maybe we get like a title eliminator with him versus Ramirez or him versus Progaria.
What is it?
Progress. I don't know how to say his name, but we're talking about the same.
Regis Progress. Yeah, bro. He got some New Orleans shit going on.
I actually want to see for his next fight. I want to see Antuanne Russell be in the main event. At this point, I think he deserves a main event. I mean, it's fuck.
If he was on top rank, he would have had a main event already for sure. Them boys be giving out main events to everybody.
If you was on the zone, bro, you would have had your own card, bro.
Yeah, fucking stage.
But then let's talk about this main event, which, I mean, we both called it. We both said 12-round decision. We both knew he ain't have the same pop as Crawford when Benavidez fought him. But Danny Garcia, I mean, he looked good at 154, but I don't think we were wrong. He doesn't have the same pop at 154, and only time will tell. But what did you see out of this fight?
I mean, he looked pretty good for real, like, better than what he probably looked better than. I mean, obviously it's Spence, but he didn't. My biggest problem. Yeah, my biggest.
It was ring rust too, and he didn't even see it. I didn't see it.
I didn't see ring rust in this fight. Honestly, I feel like he looked actually like revived almost, even though it's the new division. It's not really a true 154 opponent though. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not really like the best 154, but I mean, you got to get your feet weight here. It was probably more for like the training camp. I feel like maybe getting used to training camp for a 154 and shit like that. But I seen he was calling out Kieth Thurman. I was like, damn.
But Kieth Thurman told that boy, "You can never pass this test." That boy with bone spurs. Like Kieth Thurman saying that shit with Danny Garcia, bro.
We'll get back to that, but I mean, Danny looked pretty good for real though. I think he showed that he was putting good punches and like throwing good combinations up top, and then bringing like Benavidez would bring his hands up, attacking the body. He was eating up the body, so he did his thing and that shit, and boy showed out in the interview afterwards.
I do want to see him fight against a stronger, like a real 154.
Yeah, more like a seasoned 154. Because then we'll get it would be a fun fight with Kieth, but I do want to see if he wants to stay and compete and try to look at the guys like Charlo and these boys and
Castellanos.
Even Fundora, I feel like it's kind of out of reach for a dude.
No, I think so also. But with Jose Benavidez, like I thought it was funny because Jose Benavidez will begin, I wouldn't say tagged up because it wasn't like either side was really throwing a lot. But like let's say for a minute and a half, Danny Garcia's winning the fight. And then for a 20-minute spurt, Benavidez will let his hands go. And then all of a sudden he'll start like, yeah.
Right, he probably in his head, bro, he felt like he was landing the best shots ever, bro. And that shit was nothing. To me, I didn't really see nothing too clean. There were some moments where like it was like, all right, you got something in, but there was nothing real too clean. Danny showed good, defense and footwork, ring movement. So I mean,
the left hook was still there. It didn't have devastating power to it, but it still landed just like it used to.
I don't know if he'll have power in 154.
I don't think so. But on the positive side, this fight did generate 450,000 viewers, and it peaked at 478. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, Garcia still has the name to him. I guess.
Yeah, so he got some paydays.
He definitely still do.
Them paydays are gonna be coming. Now that he's back into over what the issues he had going on, he's gonna be back in the ring more often. See who you fight next.
He called out Thurman. I don't want to see the rematch. I think Thurman beat him at 147, and Thurman was dealing with the weight cuts and everything. Thurman is back at his natural weight. I don't think Danny Garcia's power even translates a little bit. I think it's even worse beating, if anything. And Thurman's not one of these older fighters that's kind of laid down. He's more of these older fighters that are like, hey, bro, like just because I'm older, I'm still a top 5 fighter. Don't fucking my resume can speak on its own. So, but he did also interestingly call out sounded Lara, who's like 39. He is older. He is also the regular champ at the middleweight division, but he's never gonna get that fight.
I feel like that's gonna be the most realistic fight because it's gonna draw money, but it's gonna be like kind of like I don't want to say easy win, but like Daniel.
You think it's a good win for? I don't think he wins. I mean, maybe he does, but Lara hasn't fought at 154 in like 2.5, 3 years. He's gotten used to going up. Like he's now at middleweight, and he won the regular middleweight championship. He's never getting a fight with Triple G. I like say that now. He's never gonna get that fight. Like the mandatory's never gonna happen.
Triple G's probably gonna be done after these ones.
Yeah, so like he did say that Lara is interested in moving back down to 154, a catch weight of 155, which I guess the 1 pound makes a difference. And I honestly, early expectations, I'm leaning towards Lara. He's been way more active. He just beat Gary Sullivan. He's been used to these bigger fighters at this point. I don't think Garcia's power even translates. But this is all early predicaments. But I would be interested in that Lara fight. I think that's a better 154 fight to get ready for some real hitters than Jose Benavidez. Yeah,
we gotta see how he can handle like some real 154s before you talk about them. Big bro, I can't be big bro. I'm tripping. Not the other Benavidez. Fuck that.
Oh,
no. I can't see Garcia going nowhere near Charlo though. That'd be dangerous.
Maybe he gets the Tony Harrison fight because Tony Harrison was on the fucking commentating talking shit, talking about I want the fight.
They're interviewing him after the fucking fight or during the fight, and he was there to show out, calling out Danny Garcia, talking about money. Boy, I want to make a money fight. I would bring some.
I think that sells. I mean, this one did 470,000 just off of normal viewership. I think that fight brings.
That'd actually be a fun fight to watch. That would probably be like a back and forth type fight.
I want to see. I mean, I don't think it will happen, but I think he probably would get the Lara or Thurman fight before these other fighters are really in the mix at 154. But the fight that I'm most interested in, I want to see him fight Lubin. I mean, I want to see him fight Fedor just because it'd be a little man versus big man. It'd be kind of fun. But in all realistic terms, I think a real test, and not just test, but like to really tell, is this guy really going to be able to fight for a belt at 154? As if he takes on a Lubin type cat. And like Lubin was in the title talks before he fought Fedor, which he didn't even have to. So like it just shows Lubin's always ready to fight anybody and everybody.
Yeah, Lubin's gonna be one of them. He got to be careful though. He be having them wars, but he probably would have a war with Garcia for real.
I think that'd be a fun fight. That's if I was to pick a fight at 154, that would be my fight for Danny Garcia to see if he's legit, and it'd be a good fight.
That would be a good test for Lubin if he could win that shit too. Try to bounce back. But he don't got a shit. That might be a guy Garcia's power might work on.
No, but anything else you have on this fight? Gary Antuanne Russell, future 140. Do you have any doubts on that? Or
I mean, you just gotta keep working, stay active, you know, the classic bullshit. He just gotta stay in the gym. I feel like him and his fam, you know, I think they're gonna be big in the sport, bro. Like his brother training or working with him.
And he's still young too, or like
that whole bro.
Rush it.
Like that shit's gonna work, bro. And they're definitely future champions, and there's gonna be big fights lined up for him.
No, facts. But we'll see with Danny Garcia. Stay tuned because we also got our UFC recap, Pena versus Nunes coming up. We also got our picks for this following week coming up, dropping this Friday, which is the Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill UFC. And our boy Virgil Ortiz Jr., the KO artist himself, is fighting this weekend. You know we got to cover that. But stay tuned for Totally Blitz podcast. And if you didn't know, now you know, motherfuckers.
Got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man, you better watch your passes. This ain't nothing new.